Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where we tackle the press, the issues, the pressing issues of our time with clarity and convictions. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative, and tonight we are diving into one of the most critical challenges facing our nation, the bloodbath border crisis, brought to you from no other than border czar Kamala Harris. And as we witness the unfolding of chaos at the border, it's clear that our current policies are failing us. But amidst the turmoil, there is hope. Hope that we can restore order, protect our sovereignty, and ensure the safety of security of our citizens. Tonight, we'll explore the root causes of the crisis, the impact of our communities, and the steps that we can take to reclaim control of our borders. We will share stories of resilience and determination, and we'll discuss the practical solutions that align with our conservative values. This isn't just about politics. It's about the future of our nation, the legacy we leave for our next generation. So sit back in your favorite chair, settle in, and join me on this journey of discovery and empowerment. This is the Conservative Viewpoint, where we rise above the noise, seek the truth, and stand firm in our convictions. So let's get started. The show begins now. Hello, everyone. What's going on, guys? There's Jerry. I saw that you put that up there before, Jerry. $425 million for Ukraine. That is a fucked up deal right there, Jerry. Y'all following me? That's Sean, man. What's up, Sean? Everybody's following you, Sean. You got a guilty conscience or what? John, what's happening, John? Cecil, Mark, Mr. Fixer, what's going on, man? There's Pat. Hi, Pat. Hi, Joan. How are you, Joan? Guys, I'm going to let a couple minutes here, and we're going to get this going. I got Getter going. I got to move it out of my way because I was not going to do this, guys, but you have to watch it. I have to set up screen share here real quick. But you guys, you've got to watch this interview. I'm sorry. I'm going to put off my stuff that I had today. This interview was a freaking nightmare. And I'm going to stop it in between stuff, but there's Tammy. And I know Tammy doesn't like to watch her, but we got to watch this interview, guys. This was a total disaster. And it's only a half hour, and we might get part of it, but the press is already all over this, or the fake news media, I might say. Renee, hi, Renee. They are already saying she tore Brett up. Oh, my God. They have got to be the most stupid individuals in this world. These fake news media people are morons. And after we get done with this interview, I'm going to switch back over to my screen so I can bring it back up and tell you what these people are saying. Brett actually did not baby her. He actually tore into her. This was hilarious. What's up, man? But let's get this started, guys. So you can see this. I lost track of time listening to Rebel yell at the end of Vic's show. And there was so much with that I wanted to say, and I couldn't say it because I was typing, and I couldn't type like that and type pissed off because of that, what that girl was saying about North Carolina. There's something I got to tell you about that, and hopefully we have enough time after this is done. So let's get into this. Take a listen, guys.
Pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a number? Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your
And-
Homeland Security Secretary said that
Well, no,
85%
but
of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
It's a
an
rough estimate
immigration
of 6
system.
million people have been
needs to be-
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get you the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the...
Okay, she did not answer the question. She will not answer the question. Let's move on, because she doesn't answer the question. So listen. Ah, you stupid son of bitches. I hate when they do this shit.
And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing
Six
it.
Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those
I think it's
families
really, I think
an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around.
And they did. They support.
Now, she lied about that too, because all that bill did was put more judges and all that on to process them through faster to put them on the street, not close the border. Had nothing to do with closing the border. Take a listen.
It. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done.
She followed the law. She let everybody in. She's opened the border up. She did not follow the law. This is crazy. I'm trying to get through this as fast as I can for you guys because this is so pathetic, but you're hearing the excuses she's making. They didn't do anything wrong. It's not them, it's Trump.
Quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law. And it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available.
See what I'm talking about? It's Trump. These were not available for under Trump. These were available under her. Everything that comes out of her mouth is Trump this, Trump that. We're going to keep going on this. Let's see if he says it.
Law, just as I think
say
Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think it's he spent $20 million on those ads, trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people.
Oh my God, do you believe that shit? That man's got every plan. She's the one that doesn't. Listen to this.
Whereas, at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though.
They say
On plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy.
Give them money.
I am offering
Give
a
them
plan
money.
that is
Raise
about
the inflation.
taking care of young parents and giving them.
What, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden? Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. It will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes into office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders. And president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% will tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
There it is again.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I.
States. Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
It's not supposed to be.
It has nothing to do with the question.
It's supposed to be a
So
cakewalk
are they misguided, the
for
50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is
God,
it?
I would never say that about
Wait,
the American people.
listen.
And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people.
No, he wasn't. He was talking about the enemy within our government. And listen to what the fuck the bitch says. I mean, you heard her herself. She's trying to blame it on Trump again. Listen.
Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
He never said that.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
he was asked about that specific.
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and
I'm
respect
telling you,
to
that
you,
was the question that we asked him.
you didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
He's talking about the politicians that have been persecuting him. Listen to this bitch running her mouth and getting all pissed off because exactly what she's saying is what they are doing. Exactly. Take a listen.
And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark
Week for 3.5.
The way Trump is talking about cutting Social Security is
dumbasses.
crazy. Cutting Social Security is like giving the middle finger to the middle class. Kamala Harris will protect Social Security, not cut it.
Why would this guy travel to get permanent dental
we don't give a
implants?
shit about his
Instead
teeth.
of placing you in temporary teeth, you get your permanent
Years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you
Wavering.
Critics
We don't
who
need
say
to
that
hear
you
about that
either
again.
relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's
in
go back to
oil
Donald
profits.
Trump,
Hold on.
who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put
But here are
Iran in check.
the estimates
and
in
then
billions
it was during Donald Trump's
that go
administration
towards
that
the Iran regime.
that we had an American military base that was attacked.
Things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and
Yes.
that's why we
I
invited
invite
you
everyone
here.
to go to KamalaHarris.com.
Listen.
And you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive.
Joe
and should
Biden's
be,
policies. That she copied
accessible
and
to
pasted.
anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do
And that's why
intend
we
to do to
invited you
strengthen our
here
economy,
to see where you were in 2019 and where you are
support
now.
America's military and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
She is the most pathetic individual ever. Nothing she said on there, and you see her getting pissed, nothing she said was about her. All it was blaming Trump on this, blaming Trump on everything that they've done this past 4 years. This bitch blamed Trump on it every damn time. And it just keeps going and going and going. And you heard it yourself. I fast forward through all the shit so you didn't have to listen to it. But it's all the same. It was all about blaming Trump and telling Trump that he did this, he did that. And nothing, they did take no responsibility whatsoever. Let me find this real quick. And I'm going to tell you what the fake news have been saying about this now. Let's see. Let's get on with this one. Fox News, our exports are united their verdict that Kamala Harris torched Brett Baier on that. Fox News interview starts off with fireworks as she gets heated exchange over border. Oh, let me find it. Harris shuts down Brett Baier as he plays the MAGA hits. She shuts him down. And I'm sorry, Dennis, but Brett did not let up on her like you said he was going to. He kept on her, and it was great. And she kept. It was the point that this was a disaster in the making, and they were already trying. Harris goes toe to toe with Brett Baier. Oh my God. VP turned up late. Oh yeah. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You hear and he didn't do it. And a couple of times he did. But everything that she did was a lie. How can anyone vote for this twit no matter what? I mean, when you see that, it was a disaster. She has not the temperament to hold this office, none whatsoever. And that pedophile that she's got as a running mate definitely should not be nowhere near there. We have enough of the sniffing kid stuff now with that installed thing that's in there. I mean, this, I had to show it to you guys, but you saw what kind of disaster this was. He did a great job, I think, though, Dennis. I think he did a great job. Not was I expecting. I expected him to wussy up and let her do what she wanted to do, but he didn't. He did hold his own, and she just kept running her mouth and just getting all pissed off and didn't do herself a bit of justice with that. I think he did pretty well, and you guys watch tomorrow. These people are going to try to turn this, and you saw it yourself. You saw it all, and we only skipped over some words that just kept blaming Trump on everything. That was about all we missed. She didn't do anything wrong. Past 4 years was all Trump. Oh, yeah. You saw it. You heard it yourself there. Everything was about Trump. This is so pathetic, guys. It's unbelievable. Now, moving on to Vic's show. She brought up that person about North Carolina and the floods and stuff. And that was a really sad video she showed. Now, did you guys hear, and it's on tomorrow's show too, somewhere I got it in there, but remember back when the floods started happening and they started talking about something underneath the soil in North Carolina, and the government was going to take over the land by eminent domain and farm it and stuff. And they said, no, it's never going to happen. They're not taking nobody's land. But guess what? Today, the government is offering to buy people out of their properties. Oh, yes. Buy them out of their properties so they don't have to rebuild. What the hell is up with that? They can't give them money to help them live right now. But you can give, like Jerry said, give them all that money to send to Ukraine. But you're not giving it. People are getting turned down for the 750 measly pennies that they're trying to give to people. But now they're trying to buy people out of their properties. Now, why the hell is that? It was a conspiracy theory just a week or so ago, right? But now all of a sudden, we're going to offer them money. I got an article on that today, and I wasn't going to bring it up. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but when Vic showed that story of that girl, I had to mention it, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't talk, and you can't express what you want to say on typing. And it just pissed me off because now they're offering people money, and before it was a conspiracy theory. Chad, what's going on, man? That flood was done by man. They cut the power plant dam loose. Nobody knows that. Exactly, Chad. You're right on that one. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, guys. And it's just unreal. But okay, guys, we had to get through that. I wasted a half an hour, guys. I didn't read the whole article, but I know they're offering to buy them out, Alan. So What, the 750 or the buying them out? Because I shut it down already. I can bring it back up to see, but let's see here. And striking booze, border bales. That's the video. I got so many in here, it's unreal. Now I can't find it right now, and I'll find it for tomorrow. We'll go over that again tomorrow. About that, Alan. I had it on here, and I should have put it in the loop for today, but I didn't get to. Not doing shit. This election map, Elon Musk, Trump, Harris, Walls, fundraising deadlines. I got so many articles for tomorrow already. It's unreal. Oh, there it is. The buyouts. It's a buy. Oh shit! It's Politico. It's bullshitico. That's why it is. They try to make you pay for that shit. Why North Carolina's probably won't take the federal buyouts after Hurricane Helene. Aid workers, community groups, environmental says people are likely to take advantage of the federal programs to help move out of flood-damaged homes that are flushed with new funding from Congress. Now, remember, Congress is not even in session right now. It's not going to come back until after the election. So how are they promising this stuff without Congress approval? FEMA offered $750, but was fine printed that not paid back. You forfeit. Oh, no kidding. I did not know that, Alan. I thought that was just given it to them. But, oh, they don't do that to the immigrants, do they? That is bullshit. I did not see that, Alan. Thank you for that. All right. That is bullshit. I did not know that. A $750 loan. What the hell is that going to do? That's not even going to buy him a day in a hotel. All right, let's get on with this now. Shit. Where am I at? Now, remember back in last year, 2022, I think it was, in 2023, they kept saying, the FBI kept saying that oh, you work down there, Chad. I didn't know that. Saying that the violent crime was down 2.6%. Remember that? Well, they went and revised their violent crime statistics, and now it's up 4.5. It was up when they said it. Now, remember, only 45% of the crimes that are committed in this country are reported. And I think I have something here about that. Let me find it because I got off track of that. But all right, take a look at this.
At this hour, I'm Christina Owayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. The FBI has officially updated their crime statistics, showing that the number of violent crimes in the United States has increased and not decreased. Democrats and the legacy media have been telling Americans that violent crime dropped by 2.1%. Now they have to admit that it actually increased by 4.5%. According to the recently released data, there were about 80,000 more violent crimes in 2022 than in 2021. This includes almost 1,700 more murders, nearly 7,800 more rapes, around 34,000 more robberies, and 37,000 more aggravated assaults. President Donald Trump was fact-checked during the ABC debate when he asserted that crime was up under the Biden-Harris administration. Watch.
Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country.
According to the National Crime Survey, only about 45% of violent crimes are reported to the police. That's what you need to know at this hour.
You see what I mean? That piss ant from ABC and that dumb Twitch face on there Both of them lied. Don't even know what the hell they're talking about. And then all of a sudden, FBI comes out with evidence. It's actually up 4.5. It's actually probably higher than that. They're just not going to say it. All right, I'm skipping through some stuff here so we can get to the stuff that we really need to get to. But Kamala Harris had kept hundreds of black men in prison past their release date in California so she could use them as cheap labor. And I told this morning that the inmates that worked for me made 42 cents an hour. That's like $2.10 or $2.16 a day if they made 6 hours, if they worked 6 hours a day. And that's actually cheaper there because their inmates only made $2 an hour. But she was this great prosecutor, this great district attorney. Are you full of shit? She keeps them in there past their due date. They should sue her for everything California has. I don't know why they didn't. Now, Arab Americans are not endorsing a Democrat the first time in 20 years. Why should they? Because Biden and Harris side with Israel only for a second. Then they're going to side with Gaza. Then they're telling Israel now, you got to pay humanitarian aid to Gaza, to terrorists. I would tell, if I was Netanyahu, I would tell him, kiss my ass. I am not paying nothing. But remember them guys talking about saying that the Venezuelan gang that took over those apartment buildings in Colorado and other states and stuff, they said it wasn't true, right? Well, Aurora apartment building owner, gang controlling properties. Still, this was yesterday. What happened? I thought it wasn't true, right? Well, this is why we get into stuff like this. Take a look. Thanks to Kamala Harris. That dude was beaten half to death from these Venezuelan gangs that, oh, the cops took care of it. There's no problem right now. Yesterday, this happened. So they're full of shit. Not only on top of that, let's get rid of this one. We got this.
Hey, everyone. Today, I'm diving into a troubling issue that's been making headlines. Juvenile gang members, specifically illegal immigrants, are orchestrating a robbery spree in New York City and staying out of jail due to their age. First off, let's talk about the Tren de Aragua gang. This gang originated in a Venezuelan prison and has now expanded its operations into the U.S. The NYPD's Assistant Chief Jason Savino revealed that these gang members are recruiting kids as young as 11 years old from migrant shelters and even middle schools in Texas. These juveniles are involved in a series of robberies in Times Square, openly displaying firearms on social media and executing violent wolf-pack robberies. Now you might be wondering why these kids aren't behind bars. Due to their age and lenient juvenile crime laws, they often escape serious consequences.
So this is why they do it. This gang is getting bigger and bigger by the day because of none other than Kamala Harris herself. And these are the idiots that want to vote for her and keep her in there. And this keeps going and going and going. But this is what's coming to our border near us. Take a look real quick.
The banner says Exodus from poverty. This column of humanity heading north from the countries of Central and South America and well beyond too.
Another 8,000 illegal criminals coming across our border again because of Biden and Harris. This is what we have to stop, guys. This, no doubt, is the most important thing we have to do. Let's take a break for a second and take a look at this.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away from the...
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and to the ladies of The View, the bitter, mean-spirited Delulu ladies of The View. Here is Sunny Hostin calling black men, Cuban men who vote for Trump ridiculous and crazy.
You've got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like.
That should be part of Trump's next ad. He'll set records for the black vote if more black folk knew how the elite Democrat class look at them. And if you want to know just how wacky Sunny is, listen to her say just last month that Joe Biden's legacy will rival George Washington's. I wish I was kidding.
I truly believe that his legacy will be etched in the history books as Washington, as someone who put that ego aside and put his country first.
He also so decent.
That's definitely his legacy.
It's still funny every time I hear it.
I just love that, guys. We needed that, huh? I can't stand those bitches from The View. It's unbelievable. But it's so funny. But now we'll get back into this FEMA stuff with North Carolina. Now, FEMA's playing the victim now and saying that they had to stop some of their programs because they were being threatened. Remember that? Oh, yeah. But they want to sit there and say that the top House committee has launched a probe into Biden administration priorities on FEMA hurricane relief, migrant spending. And they want to sit there and say that they're not doing that. But here it is. Here's what they spent their money on. And I showed you guys this before. Take a look. This is everything that they've spent from Bullshitico and FEMA themselves. How are they not spending it when it's right here? It's all for migrants. Oh, wait, migrants. Okay. Migrants again. And we saw all migrants on that, right? So how the hell can they say they're not spending all the money on, and now they're out of money, so they can't do anything. So now they want to be a crybaby and they want to play victim and say, how dare they? They're insisting criticism on Helena's handling is dangerous for them. Take a look.
It has a tremendous impact on the comfort level of our own employees to be able to go out there, but it's also demoralizing to all of the first responders that have been out there in their communities helping people, FEMA staff, volunteers, the private sector that are working side by side with local officials to go out and help people. I need to make sure I can get the resources to where they're needed. And when you have this dangerous rhetoric like you're hearing, it creates fear in our own employees. And we need to make sure we're getting help to the people who need it.
She's going to decide the people who need it, not the people who actually need it, because if you have a Trump sticker on your car that they can find or a sign in your yard that didn't get washed away, you don't get help. But they're going to decide who needs it. Not everybody that down there that needs it. She's going to, and it's dangerous for them, though. It's dangerous rhetoric saying they're spending money on migrants when it's a fact that they are spending the money on the migrants. And now we don't have enough money for our people. But they want to send, like Jerry said today, what, $453 million down over to Ukraine, but not our people. Does anybody not see the problem with all this? It pisses me off every time I see this and see that they're sending money to Ukraine, but not our own people to help them from this disaster. The couple disasters, even Milton, that destroyed Florida. They're not helping anyone. Trump did say that on his show that we watched today, he's going to make sure that he changes it, and he said it's real easy. So he's going to fix it all, and we know that he's going to. Two things clear up from that interview: she hates Trump. Got that run right, Jerry. She knows nothing other than point one. Exactly, Jerry. and she was talking about the policies. They're all Joe Biden's policies. She copied and pasted them from his website. And she's saying they're hers, but it's not going to be nothing like Joe Biden's presidency. Oh, my God. I don't know how anybody can believe that stuff. That will make a lot of people wake up that haven't already. I hope so, Mr. Fixer, because everyone saw it for themselves. I was not going to watch this interview, but I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help hey, my chat's working. My brother's keeper. I hope the true mountain people hold tight and refuse to sell them ship. Exactly right, my brother. And thank you for letting me know that the chat's working in Getter, because somebody asked me earlier and they said they couldn't find it. If they stay the hell away from the mountain, they will be fine. Otherwise, they got guns and they're armed. Oh, you got that right, my brother's keeper. He's on Getter. So people were telling me they couldn't find chat, but that just told me it was. And don't forget, guys, you still have time to get your names in for the drawings. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. I got one coin left from the Trump Butler rally. You still got time, guys. I don't pull the name until Friday. And you guys want to get your name in, get me up. I didn't put sorry about that. I did not put my banner up so you guys can see the email. The email is conservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com. Leave me an email and send me your name so I can put you in the hat for the drawing. The hat's over there. I can't reach it right now because my earpiece will rip out. But send me your name if you guys want in for the drawing. It's going to be every week. I'm going to draw something and give something away. So if you guys want in on a drawing, get it in as soon as you can. What's today? It's Wednesday. It's hump day. And you got to get it in, guys. Friday's coming up real soon. All right. So the crybaby FEMA, we'll get them out of there and get back to my videos here. What do we got? Oh, we're still good on time. Play victim, crybaby. Help the people that deserve the help. Now this one, what is this one? Open border. Oh, yeah. Blue city voters grapple with immigration crisis. Reveal whether Trump or Harris can solve the problem. Guess what? This comes from Chicago. Believe it or not, a Democrat-run city. They say Trump is the only one that can fix this border. Believe it or not. Oh, yeah, Chicago people. Believe it or not, that is what happens. It's unbelievable. I don't know what the hell. Let me see this. This says tempers flare. Let's take a look at this. I don't know what it is.
Officials tonight said Daly College is an ideal location because it's move-in ready and a fraction of the cost of a hotel. But many in the crowd didn't want to hear it.
When do citizens of the United States of America come first?
On the southwest side, city officials getting an earful.
How about this? Give them all these politicians' addresses and put them in their backyards, in their basements, in their houses.
This meeting at Richard J. Daley College.
That was Chicago. The people are pissed off there because they're being overrun. Even the gangs are pissed off because these Venezuelan gangs are getting bigger than they are. So you see that's something big, right? All right. Take another break here and listen to this.
September is National Preparedness Month, and BBB wants to help you protect your home and your belongings. Start by collecting all of your family photos and mementos in an airtight container.
Take pictures and video of your home as a point of reference in the event of an emergency. Back up critical digital files on a portable external hard drive and store it away from the office. Properly anchor fuel tanks so they don't float away, and ensure you keep your fuel levels full ahead of the storm. Have copies of your insurance policies on hand and have an electronic version available. Keep medicines together in a waterproof container. Prepare an emergency kit with a change of clothes, weather-appropriate footwear, flashlight, water, and battery or crank-operated radio to monitor the weather without electricity.
Discuss your emergency plan with your family. Designate a safe place inside in case you have to take shelter, and a meeting place outside in case you have to evacuate.
That was your disaster factor. Don't get dead tip of the day, guys. Very important with everything that's going on right now. All right, let me check on here. Do you realize Speaker Johnson can reallocate the funds from any other funds into any other platforms? That includes FEMA. Yeah, but he said he was on interview and said he will not call anybody back to do that. But he has to have permission too, that he said earlier in that interview. I really hope that you are telling me, told you so, Dennis. November 6th, trust me, I'm praying that Trump wins, but I just think that they're going to be absolutely everything to cheat. Oh, they are, Dennis. But we're going to make it too big to rig. We're going to do everything we can for that not to happen. If Trump is as bad as you claim, why is he beating you in the polls? Exactly, Jerry. And I loved hearing him say that to her. And of course, what did she say? Because people are frustrated. Well, no shit. People are frustrated because of the past 4 years of your disaster. And everything, this whole administration's been about blaming others. Never once have they taken responsibility for everything that they've done to this country in these past 4 years. And that's what pisses me off even more. If I'm wrong, I'll shut up for a whole week and then just watch without comments. Oh, my God, Dennis. That's funny. Only if Kamala is behind and they haven't found enough votes for her to steal the election. Oh, she is behind. They're just not telling us the truth. You can pick up a vacuum sealer on Amazon for around $29. I got a food one, vacuum seal. I got vacuum seal for my food that I put in my freezer because food lasts longer in a vacuum seal, people. If you're freezing something and it's thawed out, put it in there, vacuum seal that sucker. Chicken usually lasts about 6 months in a Ziploc. It'll last a year in hey, Marianne. It'll last a year if you vacuum pack them. So make sure you do that, guys, too. All right, let's move on. Remember, guys, when I showed you that video about Bill Clinton and Laken Riley, and he said that they should have been vetted better, right? But they're all pissed off at Bill Clinton now because of an old thing that came back. And it's okay for him to say this. I'm only going to show part of this, but it's okay for him to say this, but nobody else, right? Take a look.
Border Patrol agents are threatening to leave the critical
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
This is okay. As long as the Democrat says it, that's okay, right? But Trump does the same identical thing, and he's a racist. Oh, yeah. That's okay, right? That pisses me off, too. It's two-faced some bitches the way they are. But okay, guys, the point to this is try smoking the meat so it lasts without being cold. Hey, there you go, Chad. Chad from Facebook says make sure you try to smoke the meat. Then you don't have to keep it cool. You could just leave it on shelf because it's smoked. You just take it out and chew it up whenever you want, just like jerky. Thanks for that tip, Chad. All right, guys, let's move on. Border agents threaten to leave. This is where the title of my show goes. That the border revolt of 2024. They say if Harris is elected, they will leave. They also talked to one guy, And he says, I am not doing this shit again. 4 years of hell. They said one agent, not even close to retirement, is what he said. And he said he'll leave. Guys retiring is going to leave. If Trump gets in, they won't retire. But if she gets in, there's going to be a revolt on the border. So come November, if we cannot pull this off and the Democrats cheat and take this back again, and that's the only way they can do it, especially with this moron idiot that they have as a nominee, that's the only way they can win. No one can vote for this twit. As Mala would say, ain't nobody got time for that. Exactly right. I was waiting for an accent to come out today on that interview, but she didn't pull one off, man. She stayed white or whatever the hell she is. All right. I'm not going to show you that one. Yep, and we're running out of time. So, okay. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. This people in this town was projecting Trump 2024 on a water tower, and they're being fined $100 a day until they remove it. Take a look.
Controversy in a Massachusetts town after a projector was beaming the Trump 2024 campaign logo onto a water tower in the town of Hanson from a nearby backyard. Town officials brought in a floodlight on Friday to try and reduce visibility of the logo, but it could still be seen despite those efforts. The town says if the display continues, they plan to issue a maximum fine of $100 per day to the person behind the display, claiming it misleads the public into believing it's condoned by the town.
Now, you believe that shit. You know it's a Democrat-run town because they would leave that shit alone. But I love that guy's enthusiasm in doing that and thinking about projecting that on there. It's awesome. Way to go, man. Whoever you are, I love it. All right, guys, let's move on. Got a couple more here, and we can get through them all. That's going to shock the hell out of me, but we got it. We can actually do this. Hi, MAGA. I didn't say hi to you, man. Sorry about that. And I didn't say hi to Gregory either, but I've been talking to him. Hi, Gregory. I wanted to say hi to you guys. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That's good, Sean. I'm going to be a bloodbath if Kamala told. Oh, most definitely there, Renee. MAGA, we all are. No Superman here, Dennis. Just a beat down, tired guy. I'm sure you are, MAGA, man. Long hours you work, man. She's definitely going to CYOA move with that. Oh, my God, you won't believe that one. That's for sure. All right, next, get this one, guys. Arizona voters are registering to vote with addresses of businesses as their homes. Oh, yeah. Businesses like abortion clinics, strip clubs, high school, Cardinals Training Center. They are using those, and Arizona is not even checking them. And they're using these as their home addresses on their registration form. So anybody can sign up on there, give whatever address they want. They don't check on it to make sure they actually live in the country, in the state first. But they allow them to use addresses that don't even for a house. How much more do you need to prove that they're fixing these elections like crazy? They better not touch my Trump flag. I'm proud to fly it. Exactly right, Chad. But this is the kind of stuff that we're putting up with every damn day. What's next? And if you guys didn't hear, Georgia voted, what, yesterday or today? Yesterday. 250,000 people had early voting in Georgia. That is up a hell of a lot from 2020, where they only had 136,000 people vote early in Georgia. I'm hoping that means it's a good thing for us with any luck, because Trump's town hall was in Georgia. And I think the majority of them told Trump that they voted for him, and some of them didn't say a word. So that gives me to prove that they might not have voted for him, but I don't know. But we'll have to see on that one. Let me keep going here. And what else we got here? Georgia judge, it got to be a Democrat. Rules: election officials must certify the vote count, even though they suspect fraud. Oh, yeah, this is his ruling. So somebody could go to jail if they don't follow his ruling. So tell me again how it's not being rigged. right in front of our faces with the corrupt ass judges like this that says, even though it's fraud, you still have to certify that election. That's bullshit. That judge needs removed from the bench and disbarred immediately. But that's not all on top of this, guys. We're finding out stuff now about January 6th still. And Liz Cheney, our favorite person, right? She's been blaming Trump all these years about intimidating witnesses and all this shit. Well, to find out, she was in contact with a witness herself. Oh, most definitely. And you guys remember the old, what's her name again? The most famous, Cassidy Hutchinson, the most famous witness they had in here that lied her ass off and then changed her story up again. To find out, Liz Cheney was calling her. That is witness tampering. They are not allowed to do that. Why is she not being charged? We've got so much evidence on these people and nothing is happening. And these people are getting away with this shit. And nothing happens. This what goes to show you about the weak-ass Republican Party that we have right now. We got to get Trump in there, guys. Come November 5th, we are 20 days away. And we have got to tear this election up. We are going to be live. We're going to have a hell of a time that night, guys. You guys, everyone's got to tune in. Remember that getter. And don't forget, guys, you still got time to get in for the drawing. Well, every week I'm going to draw a new name, a new winner. I'm telling you, William Lockett's in the house. Don't forget, guys, if you are following Mansplaining Mike, please block him. He's a racist pig. And I saw him talking to somebody that we like on here, or at least I like him on here. And he was pulling some racist shit on there that I did not like. I blocked him, and I blocked him from here and from Rumble because I do not like that stuff. I do not want that stuff on my page. I do not want to associate with that stuff. See you, Chad. So I know Lee already did it. So if you guys are following him at all, get rid of him. He's bad news. All right, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to get your names in for the drawing if you want to. Conservative Viewpoint at yahoo.com. Get them in. Friday's another drawing. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. Vic had a great show. Vic and Gav had a great show. If you haven't watched their show, go back and watch it under wimkin.com /ViolentVixen29. Look up the show for tonight. It was a great show, great video. She had some technical difficulties there at the beginning, but she got them worked out. Ended up being a great show. So, all right, guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. And I'm going to leave you with this. And that brings us to the end of tonight's episode of the Conservative Viewpoint. We dove into some complexity of the bloodbath border crisis, exposed failures of current policies, and highlighted the urgent need for change. Remember, the strength of our nation lies in our ability to confront challenges head-on and demand accountability from our leaders. As we move forward, let's stay informed, stay engaged, and continue to advocate for policies that protect our borders and uphold our laws. Together, we can turn frustration into action and build a future where our nation's security and prosperity are safe and safely guarded. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys. Stay vigilant, stay inspired, and never forget the power of your voice and the power of your vote are important. So until tomorrow night, guys, have a great night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow night. See you guys. Have a great night.